SCH is an employee-owned company of engineers, architects, planners, and scientists. At SCH, we design sustainable places that bring communities together and provide solutions to keep people and goods moving safely and efficiently. We renew infrastructure that keeps our world operating and engineer solutions for a sustained environment. That's how we're building a better world for all of us. Learn more at schinc.com.
From the League of Minnesota Cities, this is City Speak. I'm your host, Adriana Tamale-Smith. We are back this week talking to city officials on leadership lessons, how we grow as leaders, and the times when we need to reflect and maybe do things a little differently. I'm super excited for our guest today. She is the city clerk in Baudette, where she has been since 2006. The League loves to connect new city clerks to her because she is one of the best and she is a wealth of knowledge in addition to being super friendly and outgoing. So, Tina Rennemo, welcome to the City Speak.
Well, thank you very much, Adriana. I am so honored to be here. I always enjoy the League. I enjoy the people. And so I'm super happy to join you today.
Well, thank you. We're so glad that you're making some time for us. And we're going to talk all about leadership today. So I want to know, what are some lessons that you have learned about leadership in your time as a public sector leader?
Well, I believe I learned a lot of my skills, my city office job by failing forward. Mm-hmm. It was a position, I was very young. I came there right out of college. I've been at this a long time. And so a lot of the things that I learned, I wasn't even familiar with what cities do, right? Mm-hmm. I had no idea at all what the scope of city offices or city government was. So I learned a lot of that on the fly. I learned it by failing. I learned it by messing up. I learned it in a way that I wouldn't mess it up again, but it was also very hard, right? There's a lot of responsibilities involved. A small office like I was in was just me. So I would go to work. And when I was there, I was the only one. So if I took days off to go to the League conference, or if I had things that I needed to take care of, like the office was literally closed. There was nobody that stepped in. So I had nobody to lean on, nobody to really delegate to or to cover those responsibilities, let alone to mentor me in that position. I think I spent one day with the lady that I replaced, and she had been there for 40 years. So
wow.
It was pretty, sink or swim kind of a deal.
Absolutely. So how has that then translated? You're in a bigger city now. You have staff that report to you. How has that translated into that sort of leadership role where you are overseeing others?
That was probably one of the biggest transitions of my career, honestly, simply because when you are in an office like that and you do everything, you're accountable for everything, once you adjust to it, it's a smooth sail, so to speak. So when you move into an office where you have actually people that you can delegate things to, it's an awkward space. It's hard to do that and to share that responsibility with others without a little bit of apprehension, right? A little bit of concern, probably because I was falling back into that fail forward space, but that would be one thing that I can say is that as a leader, I had to learn how to let others fail forward like I had done, because those lessons don't always come without that hardship of failing first, right? You kind of got to build on those building blocks. So that was a tough thing for me. And I can share that it's been actually most recently that it's been the hardest. I'm replacing my deputy clerk. The new one has been in place now since I want to say like May 3rd. And she comes to me without any experience, much like I was at that age, not really an understanding of what cities do. So it has been a huge challenge to watch her grow, allow her to fail while not losing, my own sanity a little bit on things that, need to keep clicking. So it's going well, but it's a very good lesson for me to watch that process and to really kind of let things go to a space like I was, right? To a young person that's learning like I was. So turning around to all of the resources, making sure she's aware that there's people to ask besides me, and there's groups, and getting her involved, which is something that I wish I would have done earlier and more of, right? I could have saved myself a lot of tears.
Yes. She sounds like she's very lucky to have both the space to grow and learn all of those things, and also have a person that you didn't have when you were new to your city. She's got people to help her, point her in the right direction. But yes, I also can hear what you're saying, that idea of letting others grow themselves as opposed to us sort of swooping in and trying to save the day. That's a really difficult lesson for us all to learn. So I really appreciate you coming and telling us about that. I want to leave our listeners with a little message of resiliency. What do you do in the city of Baudette when things get hard, either personally or for your community? What's your sort of resiliency strategy?
Well, so the honest piece of this is that most times people are surfacing with the negatives. In the city office, the majority of the feedback that we get is not happy stuff. It's not congratulatory. It's not attaboy, attagirl, way to go, you rock, you're awesome.
Right. Hey, my toilet flushed today. Thank you so much. That sort of thing. Right?
I told you lately how happy I am that I can turn the faucet on and there's water, or the switch and there's electric. Yeah, unfortunately, that really isn't our reality. And that's unfortunate. But that also gears me into more gratitude towards others in jobs that are similar, to make sure that gratitude comes forward. But for me, it's really the good stuff. Even though it's few and far between, there are those people that go out of their way to put a note in their water bill, or to send a card that just says, we really appreciate what you did, or your staff was amazing. And that's what keeps me in there, that along with watching Main Street revive, right? Mm-hmm. Seeing planters go up, seeing new streets go down, seeing businesses added. That feeds my soul, right? I love watching this community grow. I love watching and helping to create a beach. We're working on a beach project in our bay right now. And so I can see past a lot of that negativity just by focusing on all the amazing things that we're doing, that our staff is doing, that the council is supporting. Mm-hmm. And that keeps me grounded. That keeps me in when it's like, what, this is thankless. Like, oh my goodness, that the good stuff really outweighs the bad.
I love that. Tina, you bring such great energy and so much experience. Thank you so much for this conversation today. It's been really lovely.
Thank you for having me. I always enjoy these things and I enjoy sharing. So I hope it's valuable and somebody can find something in it that helps.
Well, listeners, that is the end of our episode, and I very much enjoyed our conversation with Tina today. I heard her talk a lot about that notion that we all have to learn from our mistakes. She called it failing forwards, which I just love. And of course, we not only have to do that for ourselves, but we have to do that with others. We have to let others grow and make their own mistakes as we become leaders and grow our teams. And I also really enjoyed the fact that Tina is that type of person who is able to see the positive in things. And she really gets that little bump of encouragement from all of the great things that she can see happening in her community as a result of the city and the employees and colleagues that she has around her. So I want to thank you all for listening, and I want to thank our guest, Tina Rennemo, and to all of you out there listening and doing the hard and rewarding work of cities. Thank you. Keep it up. You can find us in all the places where podcasts are found, and you can rate and review us, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and tell a friend about the City Speak podcast. And if you want to get in touch with us, we have an idea for the show or somebody you want to recommend for us to interview, you can reach out at podcast@lmc.org. Until next time, take care.